I can see you looking at me already, and I should hate this movie by all means.
Yeah, by all rights, you should.
For some reason, I don't.
Oh, can you try to explain it to me why you don't?
No, because I may make myself just look worse by trying to do it.
And I feel like I'm going to be in the minority on this. But I mean, look, hate's a strong word, and I want to reserve hate for the movies I truly hate, like a Norbit, where I come out mad. I didn't come out of this movie mad, but I think the only reason was because I got to sit next to you and make fun of it the whole time.
Maybe that was it. Maybe I was just sitting there and cracking on it so much and making myself laugh, and you making me laugh that I enjoyed it more than I should have.
See, that's the key, because for so much of this movie, it was just like, hey, let me make fun of this and talk to you about it. But there came a point in that movie, I'd say about an hour and 15 minutes in, where I got tired of doing that. And I was starting to get angry. I'm like, all right, now I want this to be over with. I don't even feel like making fun of it no more.
Yeah, okay, what we have here is there's really no plot. I mean, you got these four friends and people who should not be in an ensemble movie at all by any means.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You got four friends who supposedly are supposed to be all the same age, but you got three 50-year-old white guys and Martin Lawrence.
Yeah. One still relatively young black guy. And, I mean, first of all, it's John Travolta, Tim Allen, and Martin Lawrence. Okay. Those three in a movie together are like, that should be just poison. That should just, my head should have exploded when I went in theater.
Right. I mean, these are three guys whenever they start a movie just by themselves, you automatically groan. Like, it's like a gag reflex. You're just like, oh hell, I sure don't want to see this.
Yeah, and it's almost like they pulled a name from a hat, from a losing lottery, and William H. Macy had to be in it. Wait a minute, William H. Macy. I can't say the dude's name. William H. Macy had to be in it.
Well, it's almost like they say, okay, look, these three guys, they might make us money, but they aren't really that likable. But now here's a guy who can do independent movies and Hollywood movies, and no matter what he does, people just love him. He'll be the lovable one.
Yeah, he's the one that will legitimize the movie a little bit.
Somewhat, yeah. It might get the indie crowd to go like, well, maybe I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, and by the way, he's the only one that ain't really fat. I thought these guys, man, when I thought that when you got rich, and you had some money, you could afford to take care of yourself. But they showed these guys with their shirts off, and Tim Allen's in this water, and Tim Allen's he just don't give a shit no more. That dude is fat.
Well, dude, you make him sound like he really looks like he does in the Santa Claus. Now, look, what Tim Allen is fat for an actor, but he's an average size for a 50-year-old, middle-aged guy. And, I mean, some people, yeah, they have their money. If they want to, like, stay in the game and still be a wild young stallion, yeah, they'll get the personal trainers, and they can afford it. They should. But, once you got a name out there, why are you going to keep, working out and starving yourself? This is your time. You have arrived. You have worked hard to get fat. Okay. Take advantage of it.
Sorry, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I wouldn't be. His nipples just look crazy. When that scene when he was in the water, one of his nipples was trying to hide. It was like trying to go back in.
Wow, you know what? There's so many homophobic and homoerotic jokes in this movie, and yet somehow I wasn't paying attention to Tim Allen's nipples through this thing.
Well, maybe that's why I was paying attention, because it was just, when you and I were talking in theater, I was beginning to take account. Now, this movie I think the alternate title to Wild Hogs is I'm Not Gay, because these guys are doing a lot of gay things, but yet there's sort of this homophobic air to it.
Well, I mean, it's a bunch of guys together in leather. The gay thing is going to happen. I mean, they try to make fun of it because they know that if they don't, it's eventually, before long, they're going to all have a big orgy with each other. I think if you ride a motorcycle long enough with a bunch of guys, you just start having sex after a while.
Okay, well, I will never get a motorcycle then. Thank you for your reaning behind that. I don't know if that's true, but I'll take it. You ever had a motorcycle before?
No.
Okay. I know if I was gay, I'd be probably just slightly offended. I mean, they got that scene with the cop that shows up, and his shirt is too tight, and he's just flamboyant, and I'm just like, man, this is stupid.
Yeah, John C. McGinley shows up as a recurring cop who's basically like the same cop as Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911.
Yeah.
Except, he just pops up out of nowhere like, surprise! And then the gag's over, like, oh, let's peel on out of here. And then, I mean, and they repeat this gag like about 8 times. Not with the same cop, but it's always like, hey, let's all get into a situation. Oh, it got kind of gay. Now let's peel out on our bikes.
Yeah, I mean,
end scene.
Yeah, and now see, there's these 3 middle-aged guys are 3 middle-aged white guys and this black dude. Why they're friends with him, I don't know. They all get together and decide to like make one last hurrah of freedom, and they go on this road trip, and that's pretty much it. It's almost like the screenwriters just said, well, let's just mad lib it from this point on.
Pretty much, this movie started out with no plot. Yeah, let's just have a bunch of middle-aged guys, rediscover themselves aimlessly. And then somewhere in the middle, they meet up with some bikers, and then the writers ripped off the plot to A Bug's Life. I mean, you got the biker gang that's threatening the town. The guys come in like they're heroes, but they're all a bunch of fakes. And in the end, they have to have a big standoff and rally everybody together to defeat the bikers.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much a Western. These 3 guys come to town. The sheriff is too much of a pussy to do anything, and so these guys have to save the town. I mean, it's like a Western because in modern times, I mean, if these bikers come in, they're giving you trouble. If the local police can't do anything, I'm sure, they can call Highway Patrol or somebody to come in and do it. I mean, these guys should be on America's Most Wanted, the way they come in and tear up the town.
Yeah. You know what? This is one of those movies that just pleases like the most common denominator. Well, I have my biggest problem with this movie is that it just doesn't try. I mean, it's like, hey, we got these 4 stars signed to do this. Let's just figure out something for them to do. And they started shooting this movie without even a full script, I think. I think they just it's one of those movies where it just meanders. It just kind of goes along until it finds something to do.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I mean, they just had these guys come in. I mean, there's no telling how many times they rewrote this script during production.
Right.
So, I mean, out of all this criticism, for some reason, I can't hate it.
Shut up.
Man, come on now. You know there were those moments where when John Travolta was cringing, when he knew that the bikers were going to come into town, those scenes were kind of funny.
Okay, the situation was funny. His acting was horrible. But the situation itself, you know what? If there's anything I liked about this movie is like watching the situations and thinking like, wow, a funny movie could come out of this. This wasn't the one. But there could have been one.
I think, I don't know. It's one of those things where the movie is so dumb, and it knows that it's so dumb that I just went with it. It wasn't really trying to be anything, and because it wasn't, it's one of those. Look, I'm saying this is rare. I don't approach movies like this all the time, but it's not a good movie. I mean, in fact, it started out horribly.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. Maybe these guys, I like these guys or something. I don't know. Maybe it was the camaraderie. I don't know.
Dude, I was hoping you can explain it. See, I can't give it that leeway of it was so bad it was good because that got used up last week on Ghost Rider. So now I just got to call them like I see them.
There's room for more movies like that,
Yeah, it's February. There's gonna be tons more.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I got nothing. I don't. I have nothing. I mean, all I can say is it's a bad movie. I can't really recommend it. But when I was watching it, I was okay. I didn't find myself upset. Maybe I thought I was going to hate it more, and I didn't.
I bet that's what it was. Because when you look at the trailers, there's like nothing good in them. And then when you watch it, the movie, it's just not as painful as you think it's going to be.
Yeah, it really didn't annoy me. I mean, it started out like, whoa, come on. But I don't know, man. It lightened up on me after a while. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't high or anything when I saw it. I mean, maybe if I was, I would make it more clear to me why I should hate this movie.
I don't know, man. And what's the deal with if you have a movie about bikes, there's a contract that Peter Fonda has to be in that movie. Yeah.
Peter Fonda, he's in Ghost Rider. Now he's in this movie because he's the original Easy Rider.
Yeah, I understand that, but come on now. I mean, that's goddamn ridiculous. You playing this to a crowd of kids who don't even know what Easy Rider is. All they know is Chester Cheetah on a motorcycle.
Hold on. I don't know. That's so funny to me. Chester Cheetah on a motorcycle. Man, I'm just easy to please. I'm laughing at that.
All right, I just want to. I think our audience should know that you've been sick lately. You had the flu, so you could have been feverish the whole time you in there.
I'm just getting off. I'm on medication right now. I'm waking up with sweats. I mean, I'm sweating right now as we speak. I might have been delirious. Catch me if you want me to give your movie a good review. Catch me when I'm ill.
See, I saw Battlefield Earth the same way, and I've never lived it down.
Another John Travolta movie.
Exactly.
So I think you and I are even now. Man, I'm serious, dude. You touched on something. I mean, maybe I'm just happy I'm still alive. I don't know. Hey, you know what? Your hair kind of looks like a motorcycle helmet. I got nothing to say.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you're a middle-aged guy thinking that a motorcycle is going to restore your manhood, see this movie first.
Yeah, the way you put it, the leather and the motorcycles and the homoerotic nature of the whole thing. I mean, it might restore your manhood in a certain way.
Well, yeah, it might put you in touch with your true self.
Might restore manhood right in your ass. I don't know. But anyway.
Well, nice to see that the homophobia in this movie didn't rub off on you.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting up here complaining about it, and I'm perpetuating it right now. I'm not gay.
Not really. I'm not that gay.